The speed of sound travels at 1,100 feet per second. Goes like this. Beautiful. And down comes a thumping great wad of bog roll. Now it's a double barrel, gives you a chance of 2 shots. There could be a little old man down at the far end of the showground didn't hear that properly, so I think we better have another one. Notice, I always keep my gun barrels safely pointed up in the air. You'll never catch me out. Here we go. That's the modern shotgun. Remember, it's got a very limited range, 35 yards, to ensure that clean kill. The actual shot, the small shot that we fire inside the cartridges, they'll actually travel about 300 yards. But you never kill anything at that range, 35 yards. You don't know what it is, I'll show you. My guess, from you people down there, it's probably about where I'm stood now. Now that's not very far, is it? So that's what you've got to learn. The way to fill your bag is with close quarters, and Colonel Peter Hawker 200 years ago knew this, so we should literally know it ourselves nowadays. Notice I'm wearing the ridiculous costume. Well, this is not a costume, because when we go out we need to be fit for purpose of defying the elements. Now wildfowling is not a sociable sport like pheasant shooting. You go out on your own. You got your gun, you got your dog, you've trained him up for 4 years in his case, and he's magic, trust me, he's brilliant. And so you're ready to go hunting. You've joined a member of a wildfowling club, and there's loads of them around the West Country, and so you don't need to go far to join a club nowadays. Now basically, it's early in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, when you lot are fast asleep in your beds, my alarm clock goes off. I look out the bedroom window, and the hailstones are hammering on the glass. The wind is howling through the telephone wires, all the leaves of autumn have gone, and that is the time of all times to get down to the estuary. So I'll drive 60 miles to my favourite estuary, which is the Tor estuary, comes out of Barnstable at North Devon. It's a great little estuary, that one's only 7 miles long, but it's a great place if you know what you're doing. It takes a bit of experience. So I've got a big rucksack, weighs in about 50, sometimes 60 pounds in weight. I've got a big bag of decoys, and I've got my gun over my shoulder with my dog to heel in the dark, when it's black as a cow's guts. I'm going to walk about a mile down this old railway line, and then strike out across the marsh. Now this marsh does not look like the grass field you see today. It's a dead flat, vast expanse of marine grasses that have been formed over thousands of years of the silt that comes down from the river. And this marsh is intersected with big gutters. Most of them are about 30 yards across. They're all about 10 or 12 foot deep. And I've got a stagger carrying all this clobber right out to the main channel, which is where you people are here today. Half an hour later, I will have set up my duck decoys all tied together with a long line with some big hefty lead weights to stop the tide from dragging them away. Artificial plastic duck decoys, there they are, that's the trap. You need to be camouflaged. Take a look at that hide. You would say, yep, that's a hide. Well, it looks like a flipping hide, doesn't it? It's so obviously unnatural on any marsh. Remember, there are no trees, there are no bushes, no shrubs on a tidal marsh. That thing would stand out like a sore thumb. So again, you've got to use your noddle. That hide is going to be set up down on the edge of a gutter, so that the top of the hide is at ground level. Only then have you got yourself a fair chance of getting a shot. See, these birds have been shot at for thousands of years, and they're not stupid. Let me show you. We've got a pair of Canada geese, once again, nesting on the pond down the bottom end of the showground. And the Canada geese are actually very aggressive birds. They won't let any mallards nest anywhere near them, so they're like bully boys. Canada goose can live up to 30 years of age. Did you know that? No. You shoot one of them and bring him home for Christmas dinner, invite all the family round for a bird that's been kicking around for 30 years, it's going to be pretty tough. So we always go for the birds of the year, and that's the young birds. Take a look, all Canada geese have got black necks. This one here has got a fawn or a grey coloured chest. They're the young birds. And if you get the chance at early morning, because geese fly late, they wait till the sun comes up, see? And when you've got not a pure white chest, if you've got a grey or a fawn coloured chest like the one you see there, that means he's the bird of the year, and they are delicious. We'll tell you more about that directly. Now, of course, we got the decoys, plus we got the calls we'll be using to try and mimic the same sounds as the natural birds. It's another skill to learn. And only then can you talk to the animals like Dr. Dolittle and bring them to you. When it works, which it doesn't always, but when it works, it's pure magic to be, to watch. Well, we got the 8-bore in the hide. We've got Jake. Let's introduce you to a few more of the other birds that we go hunting for. And of course, these are mallards. We've got a mallard call. We'll be showing you that in just a moment. You've got the male and the female. Does anyone know which one is the male bird? Come on, quick bit of natural history for you. Which is the male and which is the female? That's the male. What's the male mallard called? A drake. Absolutely right. The females of all ducks are always dull, drab and brown. Remember, they're ground nesting birds. There are lots of predators, lots of enemies, and that's why their only defence is camouflage, which is why you don't see any of the colours that you get from the male birds, or in other words, the drake. He's the gaudy one. He has no part to play in bringing up the youngsters at all. It's always the female does that, and I like to shoot them because I love them on a roast Sunday dinner table on the plate. It's beautiful. There's your mallards. Over here we got the white-fronted goose. What you're about to see is that there are lots of different species of birds on the estuary in winter. I've counted up to 80 different species. I could show you 1,000 golden plover flying probably about 100 yards high. 1,000 golden plover, that's just one species. It's an amazing place. This is a white-fronted goose. It's got nothing to do with his chest. So there's a little patch of white feathers on his forehead. That's where he gets his name from. Very easily mistaken for a grey lag. White fronts are protected in Scotland. You're not allowed to shoot them. Down here on the Severn estuary, where you do get a few white fronts, you're allowed to shoot them in England. Another species of bird is another good target. This is the grey lag goose. He's the ancestor of all your farmyard geese. And very difficult communication. They got so many different variations of calls. They sound very similar to your farmyard geese, but we don't really know what they're saying. And if you make the wrong sound, they're not stupid. They won't come anywhere near you. So these are the skills you need to learn. Over here I've got some of my best friends, and these are the pink-footed geese. They come from Iceland and Greenland and a weird place called Spitsbergen. And they come every September, October, when the big migration begins. They fly thousands of miles to reach the top of Scotland. If it's a cold winter, they'll work all the way down the east coast. You never see them in the West Country, or very, very seldom anyway. But you need to get up to Scotland, and it's pure magic to be up there on the Tay estuary, where you've got the great snow-capped mountains, and you've got thousands and thousands of geese all coming over on their migration. It truly is a magical world. They've got their own sound. We'll cover all this as we go. But all this would be useless without the dog, because 9 times out of 10, if you shoot something, bang, splashed, hits the main channel. Now this is not a lake, it's not a river, it's a tidal estuary, and the tide is coming in like the clappers. You've got to be on it fast, otherwise you've lost the very thing you just shot. So that's where the dog comes in. I can't help him. That's 12 foot deep and coming in literally as fast as you could run. So that's his job. So what we'll do is we'll get Jake. Make it easy for me, son. Come on, stop falling over, you idiot. As I say, he's full of beans. He loves country shows. He thinks he can do whatever he wants because he knows he's not going to get a hide in front of you lot. So let him just do the rounds a minute. Mind your boots, because he's bound to mark or eat your sandwiches. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll summon him up, and this is where the whistle's very important, he says, having just left it in his truck. Never mind. Up. Good boy, get in. Good boy, and sit. Good boy. I tell you what, folks, that's a first. I've never seen him do that before. I'm not joking. Thing is, you see, when you've got a loaded gun in a hide a bit like this, or a pigeon hide, or wherever you're going shooting, if you're in a hide, you cannot have a tomfoolery dog jumping up and down when you've got loaded guns. So what I did with him for the first 4 years of his life is show him discipline, because I'm the boss. You get loads of these silly people that's got pet dogs and they consider their dog is that leads the household. Not so with a gun dog. He's a working dog and he's got to know his place. See, when he was younger, I trained him to be in a hide like that. At first, he took and wiped the whole hide right out. Stay there. What I did is I made him sit just like that, put his dinner bowl, still full of food, right next to him, and make him wait 5 minutes. Now, you youngsters will go, oh, that's just being cruel. No, it's not. It's proving a point that you do as you're told when I tell you. And that's how most of us old-fashioned people grew up. So we had a bit of respect. And that works really well with dogs. So basically, he sat there for 5 minutes waiting for me to tell him he can eat his dinner. And that's how he's got steady now. Good boy, Jake. Good lad. Right, okay, so the boy, stay there. So I think we're pretty well on the case. Good boy, myself. Now, I'm not going to load the gun until we've got the... See what I mean? Look at this, look. You can't have this sort of thing in a hide with loaded guns. You get my point? Sit. Now, you always go on my left. Good boy. Stay there. Good boy. So remember, at this stage of the game, you lot are probably still fast asleep in your beds at night. 3 o'clock in the morning, I drove 60 miles to get here. I've sweat buckets carrying all this clobber out to the tide front. You're knocking me hide down. Get off. Sit. I've set my decoys up and now we're ready for action. Now remember, this is not pheasant shooting. You don't even know if you're going to get a shot, but you're going to see a heck of a lot. Good boy, stay there. Listen, out there I can hear the mallards calling. Notice the different sounds they make. It's still too dark to see. No point in loading your gun if you can't see anything to shoot anyway. Remember, hello, we got some ducks around now. Look at this. Out there in the blackness on a sandbank, I can hear the widgeon. Listen. Now you've got to be careful not to mistake them for oyster catchers, because their wing beat is exactly the same, and in the half light of daybreak you've got to be very careful. Remember, if you shoot a protected bird you could easily lose your gun license, so you need to know what to fire at and what not to. Out there I can hear the geese are waking up now, and these are Canada's. Listen. Any moment now they're going to jump. Will they see the decoys? Will I be able to call them within range of the 8-bore? Time to load that big old gun. Now remember, this is going to be a bit noisy, so hang on to your hats. It's a blank cartridge, but there's a mighty lot of powder in there. More ducks coming down the main channel. That's the feeding sound. That's the chattering sound they make when they're feeding. Here come the geese. They're up and they're coming our way. Jake, stay there. Now the secret is because he's a very light coloured dog, he'd be great in the snow, but you can't have your dog bouncing around. He's got to keep perfectly still, the same as you. As soon as the geese have showed signs they're coming your way, you've got to shut up. Stop calling. That's the secret. Here they come. Remember, they've got to come well within 50 yards, and they're on their way. Jake, stay there. Here they come. They're 100 yards, they're closing fast, they're curling round into the wind, because all birds have to land into the wind. That's why I've set my decoys where they are. Jake, stay there. Here they come. 70 yards, 50, now. Oh, Struth. Beautiful. And we got 2 for 1 shot, look at that. Sorry about all that stuff down there, folks. That was much better than I expected. Did you catch that smell? Beautiful, isn't it? That's the smell of the black powder. That's the sulphur in the powder that the ancient Chinese would have smelt 2,000 years ago. God, it smells like a broke wind. It smells like, I haven't, but that's what it smells like. God, flipping out. Did you notice Jake? He hasn't gone running in. This is very important. Another important thing to remember is that when you fire a shot, a big bang like that, all the ducks are up now. There's waders flying, there's oyster catchers, there's everything flying around. You may be lucky to get 1 or 2 more birds. But you've forgotten the golden rule, because your bird has just landed in the main channel and is rapidly being carried away by the tide. So the secret is to empty your gun until that bird's in your hand. Now I know that Jake has actually seen that. We've got 2 birds down. That was a left and right for a single barrel gun. That was pretty good. What I want to do is make it a little bit trickier for him. Now I'm going to try something. I think we got a moment to try this. Jake, heel. Ah! Get heel. Get heel. Stop it. Get heel. I'm going to try and get him to get that pigeon rather than that goose. Good lad. Yep. Now this is so important to be able to give your dog hand signals. It could be that I've got a left and right. That's 2 birds down. One bird's stone dead, the other one's not properly dead. If he makes it to the water, you've got a heck of a chase on. So we need to get that one first. Now I'm going to try and direct him with my hand signals, and this is obviously advanced training now, especially for a stupid blonde like he is. But here we go. It's a pigeon, mate. I don't want the goose, I want the pigeon. Got it? Go back. Fetch him on. No! Sod it, let him get the goose. Notice this dummy is really heavy. It's very awkward for him to carry. Good boy, and fetch him on. Good boy. Straight back to me. No. Fetch him on. See, it's a heck of a mouthful. It's exactly what you could. Good boy, Jake. Put your hands together, folks. We got there. So he's coming on. Now he's going to do his lap of honour. He's going to piddle on someone's boots. I just know it. There you go. Right, what we'll do, because he's a dog, if you're going to get a dog, get yourself a bitch. They're far less trouble. Jake, because his life lives so fast, like all dogs, their world is so much faster than ours, he's actually forgotten that there's another bird out there, because dogs have got rubbish memories anyway. At least he certainly has. Hey, Jake. There you go. Hey, Jake. The speed of sound travels slowly up here. I did warn you, friends. Say, what are you doing, mate? Right, get heel. Get heel. Right there. Right, there's a pigeon out there. He's embedded in the snow, or he's down in a little pothole of a gutter. He's got to use his nose. And he doesn't know it's there. This could be good fun. Jake. It's a pigeon. Fetch him on. Go back. Go back. Very important to get your dog to go back far enough. You've got to do as he's told until he's got to trust you, in other words. We're going to find out all about some brilliant gun dog training in just a moment. Good boy. Jake. Oi. Good lad. Now he's got to have a soft mouth, hasn't he? Very important. Sit. You don't want a clumsy dog. It's a nice dog you got there. Is he a working dog? No. Okay. Well, do you want to swap? Because mine's not either. You've got to have, because at the end of the day, at the end of the day, always remember, it gets dark. No, at the end of the day, that's our dinner. So you don't want dog tooth fang marks in the meat. So what we do is we get anyone suffer from allergy with pigeon feathers? Sorry. You're going to take that breast meat straight off there. You're going to soak the meat. In the case of a Canada goose, you soak the meat in salted water overnight, and then you rinse it with fresh water, and that's equal to the best bit of Somerset beef, folks. I'm telling you. Canada geese, that's the future. There's tons of them. The government has called this bird vermin. You can actually shoot them at any time of the year now, but of course, us being proper hunters, we would never shoot them out of season, because this time of year they're all paired up and breeding. So don't go shooting them just because you can. Go hunting them the proper way. Well, for me, I'm a stupid dog, Jake. We're going to head back to the balcony now, which is in the showering pavilion just down there. And there we've got a big widescreen TV, and I'm showing extracts of all the films that we've produced, because I've filmed half my life over the last 10 years. And if you want to find out what wildfowling really is about, then there's loads of clubs. You can join up there while you're up there. So I look forward to seeing you later on. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.